It's time for the first playoff final of 3 Leagues Season 6. Since the last DLC, the Mountain Royals, was released in the middle of the season, Georgians and Armenians have been banned for the rest of the season, so they won't be able to be picked. But the Persians, being a standard civilization that has been tweaked, is still up for grabs, so we might see that banned. I don't know. It's a best of 5 between Flemish Militia and GDR Boys. And this is how the map pick and ban system works. Runestones as the first pick for GDR, they seem comfortable with open land maps. And then Amazon Tunnel for Flemish Militia. Then 1 ban each. So Nomad is off the menu from GDR and Golden Lakes for Flemish Militia. Once again, they pick. So it's going to be Maghreb for Flemish, and it's going to be Team Acropolis for GDR, another open land map. While finally they ban the remaining maps. That is Chaos Pit and Hillfort, resulting in Migration being the designated neutral map to begin with. Getting into the civilizations here. Migration, let's start with that. Persians comes to mind, but that could also be for Maghreb. Faster working town centers and docks. No, I think it seems like a good pick for migration that already has a little bit. It's a bit dependent upon fish, so to get out that fish earlier and to have a faster work rate for the docks and town centers, or town center maybe, that's going to be a huge advantage on migration with the new patch. Italians could also be for Maghreb, or it could be for migration in the first map, so we'll see how that's gonna work out. Byzantines, did we have Byzantines here somewhere? That comes to mind as well. Pretty much a later pick, but still a good naval civilization with their faster firing fire galleys. But lots of good contenders here. Bengalis could be an off pick as well for their self-healing ships. As for the Flemish militia, they have Dravidians secured, so that almost has to be a migration pick, in my opinion. Unless they want to go for an Elephant Archer masterpiece on Maghreb or a different map. Portuguese as well. And what's the last one going to be? Probably Malay. I don't see Malay coming into play on Maghreb. You know that has water as well. So let's go Malay, Portuguese, Dravidians versus Persians, Italians, Byzantines as a guess. And we'll see how many I got wrong here. Well, alright, so first off, Peter Della has come for the Japanese over here. Also a good pick for naval maps, of course. Resource drop-off points cost 100 less wood. No, 50 less wood, sorry. And fishing ships have much more hit points and armor and a faster working rate. So good pick there. It's a long distance over to the pocket player here, which is Bloody Nival with the Malay. Makes perfect sense for a map like this. Malay have lots of bonuses applying to water, harbors, what's that called? The thalassocracy. Upgrading the docks to shoot arrows. And fish traps at a huge discount. And 66% faster advancement to the next stage, so gives them a head start to the power that the next stage brings. Tusky with the Dravidians here. Dropping the dock with a Dravidians ally is going to provide you with 5 population space, so reduces your need for early houses. You'll see that there's actually placed, or green at least, has placed only 1 house here. I don't know why I sent 2 villagers to that, but maybe it needs extra shorefish to boost the food income. Wait, they both are doing that. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so only 1 house, right, from Tusky as well. knowing that that dock is going to provide some pole space. Did get a little bit housed here, so that's a bit unfortunate, but now we're fine. Loud migration in this tourney. That's good to hear. It's been some good games. Marklanders in the purple with the Italians here. Italians also got a cheaper ride towards the next stage, so to speak. They're going to need 15% less resources to click up to the following age. So also gives them a little bit of a head start or saving some resources going up to the feudal age, caste age, and the imperial age. And in the pocket for yellow, we have Noddy Heidi with the Malians. Malians would discount. The docks are cheaper, or any building except for farms are cheaper. So also lets you get the fish out there. It's arguably a dock on the later side for the Malians, but I guess the wood count will easily allow for fishing ships to be produced. Now in the pocket we have Quara in the red here. Also two builders going to shorefish. Maybe this is migration beta, I don't know. But yeah, Byzantines dock here. Byzantines have a discount to the Imperial Age. They have access to fast fire ships, so the power of fast fire ships in the Imperial Age is not to be underestimated if you're falling behind and are able to make a sneak attack with massed fast fire ships against the enemy galleons. Crash units cheaper for the Byzantines. Skirmishers, pikemen, even the camels are cheaper, although they are not a trash unit. Faster firing fire ships line for the Byzantines, so the fire galleys, etc. With that out of the way, I'm going to speed this one up a little bit until we reach the next age, because there's not going to be any dark age aggression of significance on migration. It could be useful to scout here to gauge the distance between players. Actually, the distance between the flanks is relatively far. And it's going to evolve into a 2 versus 1 situation maybe on this side. Because of the pocket and flanks being so close to each other, and maybe the same on this side as well, green and blue against purple. So, I'm seeing the blacksmith here. Dravidians get 200 wood instantly, reaching the next age. We are going for the galleys here. Could be a risky move because there's quite the travel distance over to the GDR side, but it looks like the Italians player is doing the same thing. 3 docks queuing the galleys as opposed to 2 docks, but an earlier fletching for Tusky. Could be a huge deal. Could be a huge deal here. But it's not, because the Italians player has fletching on the way as well. So fletching essentially similar between the two. Malay player transport ships are going to go into the middle already. Gain some middle control, scout the relics, scout where it would be useful to settle. Peter Della with the Japanese galleys out now, whereas the Byzantine player has, rightfully so, gone for the fire galleys, playing into the Byzantine bonuses. There are 3 docks from both the Byzantines and the Japanese here, but it seems to be more consistent production or just an earlier uptime for Peter Della here. Getting the galley numbers quickly than the Byzantine player can mass fire galleys. It could be with, could have something to do with production time as well. Marklander's going straight for the Malay pocket here. I think he senses something going on. Maybe there's no ships to defend the fish of the Malay here, but he's being chased by Tusky. Doesn't succeed in taking out the fishing ship there just yet. Looks like the Dravidians player is getting the better first engagement there, and the sneak raids of the galleys not working out quite as intended for Marklanders. Does idle quite a few of the fishing ships of the Malay though, so there's that. There's lots of fish actually, 13 fishing ships and counting for Bloody Nigel, who is essentially feudal age booming with Malay fish here. And obviously preparing for a Castle Age click as well with the resources nearly there to get that. 4 galleys here from Tusky. They are going to be taken out quickly by the purple armies here, unless it's careful. Upside, fire galleys numbers increasing as well. Peter Della has fletching now, but is also being caught up with by the fire galleys to some extent. Could be a bit scary. It's now in the Castle Age, ahead of the Malay, surprisingly enough, but it's going to be relatively easy for Bloody Nigel to catch up with that. See a comparable villager count between the two, but that's because Bloody Nigel hasn't clicked up yet. There's the Castle Age queued behind whatever is happening, and 1.5 minutes will be in the Castle Age for the Malay as well. Oh, did he lose that villager to Wolf? Sent only 1 villager over. Scouts already here for none of the idea. That could be incredibly important with Bloody Nigel's expansion in mind. If these scouts of the Malians can stop Bloody Nigel from expanding on the mainland or the big island in the middle, that's huge. So great way of assuming control of the middle, but even though none of the Heidi is now in the middle, Fish is going to suffer a lot as Peter Della is getting some huge raids in here with the extended feudal age with the Japanese galleys. 17 galleys, yes, GDR are all on the way to the Castle Age, but feudal age army numbers matter as well, obviously. The scout is here. First thing Bloody Nigel does is drop a barracks on the land. Probably wants to drop a town center somewhere, but it's somewhat risky with the scouts out and about here. I guess they're feeling confident with their naval control as he places the town center literally on the shoreline here. This could have been denied by Mark Landers' galleys. So actually, if the yellow player scouts this TC going up, could in theory deny it with galleys from the water, but doesn't seem too plausible at this point. That town center is going to complete for the Malay. Now assuming some position on the mainland, we see Mark Landers moving to the mainland as well, while Peter Della is pretty convincing KD going on here. 7 eco kills for the galley investment. Castle Age in for red though, only lost 2 eco units, still has the fish working in the back, has the fish in the back not working. Or are they? No, they're not. Wait. Why are there yellow fish all the way over here? Might be a misclick. But at least they're alive. There's that. Castle Age is in for Tusky, but Bodkin came in just now. War Galley just 10 seconds away. It's a good opportunity for Mark Landers to get some more damage in before the upgrades kick in for Tusky. There we go. Similar upgrades now, but far from similar numbers. As there are fire ships in the front as well, which you do not want to let close to your galleys, of course. War galleys, that is. Castle going up in the middle for Bloody Nigel. It's also out of Noddy Heidi's vision, but it doesn't really deny a lot. It denies the stone and gold over here. Not a big deal. In comes the upgrade for Peter Della as well, fighting dangerously close to the fire ships here. These fire ships have careening in as well, giving them extra pierce armor, but it is going to be a cleanup for Peter Della here, getting a pretty decent engagement against the red player, and you can see from his KD that it's on the convincing side as well. Done some great work for naval control here. The naval control these teal player. Some demolition ships added as well, expecting more fire ships to come from the Byzantine side. Red also needs to get to the middle here, otherwise it's going to be overwhelmed by Peter Della's armies and not be allowed to the middle at all. I think not deniable is... He didn't get unique tech yet, did he? Oh, not deniable is attempting to get the harbors happen. Look at that. Clever way to secure these towns and thread this area here now with thalassocracy in for the Malay, so the docks are now effectively harbors firing arrows. Peter Della is pulling back. Is it just regrouping the units? He needs to be in the offensive now. Can't really let the red player get back up with the army numbers here. Of course, red has taken quite the hit. Seems to be wanting to drop a castle, maybe on the shoreline, maybe on the mainland. It's a little bit too passive now from the teal player, allowing the 4 docks of the Byzantines to remass here. Fish is also back up and working for the Byzantines player. Eco lead here, all things considered, even having lost 10 eco units, they're still ahead. It has to do with the land efforts here. And the Italians castle coming up. Italians Imperial Age also cheaper, which could allow the Imperial Age to come in earlier for Marklanders than for Blood Denial, which means that this castle might not stay up for too long. Good fight for Marklanders here. It's cleaning up most of the armies of Tusky, at least the forward ones. Tusky remassing at home base, while Marklanders is doing the same. Actually, Marklanders is... I want to say it was still a good fight, but maybe it wasn't, because now he's going to get more opposing armies close to his home base, and Tusky actually has the numbers advantage now. Alex back at it for Peter Della. Imperial Age on the way for the Malay as well, but Malians and Byzantines ahead, possibly. No, not the Byzantines. The Malians ahead to the next stage. No castle in the middle for Donald D. Heidi though, so that's not going to be of concern for Bloody Nibal's position in the middle. It's scary to have Malians in the Imperial Age once they have their castle up though, because if you can get to Farimba, the unique technology for the cavalry of the Malians, they will be granted 5 extra attack, so fantastic raiding units. Beginning to get the feeling that Flemish militia are kind of neglecting the middle situation here a bit. They have good scouting in the middle, but they do not have nearly enough land armies in the middle to keep up with what GDR are doing. With the Imperial Age in, we have condotieros now in the making from the Malians. Malians condotieros. If you also get the plate mail armor, they will be very much on the tanky side already. Plus 5 pierce armor. That's going to be a plus 7, is it? With the Imperial Age defense upgrade. Yeah, it's kind of strange that Red hasn't committed to the middle island earlier on. Made a castle though, so he has villagers here somewhere. Taking a beating from Peter Della here, of course. But with the increasing numbers of Condottiero and seemingly nothing to deal with them, that could be a huge issue for Flemish militia, I guess. I have no idea how Karambits would trade against Condottieros, but I suppose... Malaya, light cap, that's not something you see every day. I suppose Karambits with full upgrades, just because of the speed of creation and their ease of getting to fully upgraded, could be a response to the Condottieri here. Good raids though, look at this. Peter Della is going to be taken completely off the main, or the middle island here, if this keeps up. 7 pierce armor, and fully upgraded attack upgrades as well. Yeah, goodbye Teal, I guess. And there's assuming more of the middle with the castles as well, which means we'll probably see Genoese crossbowmen against the Malay light cab, of all things. But I guess it's the fish boom and eco setup of the fish boom that allows Bloody Nibel to do and go for that. But Malay light cab, among the weakest light cab in the game. I think they get husbandry, but that's about it. They lack lots of defense upgrades. Extremely light cab, yeah. Probably wooden armor or something like that. So the Condottieros are doing work. We have 68 of them out now. Raids are coming in for the Italians, which means that the Genoese crossbowman investment is at work. Trebuchets of Bloody Nibel doing some serious work here as well, though. But in the meantime, we have had fast fire ship research by Red here. And Peter Della, not with heavy demolition ship here, going to have some trouble to deal with these. Oh, and the castle gets denied as well, and that might just be the last remaining alive villager of Peter Della on the land. See some more harbors coming up here, so it's going to be hopefully possible to get back on the mainland somewhat safely for Peter Della, but Condottiero raids. What are we going to do about that? We're going to need champions, maybe? It's not like we have great options for cavalry here either. Japanese cavalier, possibly, might be enough to deal with the condos. But as it stands right now, Flemish militia, they just don't have any response. We see Malay elephants, yes, but they're way too slow to catch up with the condos as they move. And monks also being added by none of the Heidi, so he's gotten at least one conversion in here on the elephants. 39 fishing ships, yeah. Malay fish boom. Pushing further and further down the middle now. Looks like Red has some plan to land as well. Okay, here comes Peter Della with another wave of villagers. Wants to make a new attempt at landing topside. But now with the outposts around here for none of the Heidi, we get some serious vision of the topside as well. So it's not going to be easy for Peter Della to get some find his place on the middle island here. As the castles go down from several sides here, we have the Genoese crossbowmen as well. Suppose they should be able to deal with any cavalry numbers, and they will be protecting the trebuchets, no problem. Bomber cannon added as well. Well, the real hero of the match here is the Malian Condottieros, of which Flemish militia don't have a response to. They still have a score lead, which is interesting at this point with the position they're losing in the middle, but that could also have to do with their fish food income and scouting in general on water. And yeah, this is why the Malay elephants suffer, right? The elite battle elephant even coming in, but the condos, as long as you have large enough numbers, they still trade cost efficiently, if nothing else. And the Malay, they only get the first armor if you lage armor, so there's a limit to how efficient they actually are. We could use the Genoese over here to deal with the elephants. They have bonus damage against cavalry, lots of it, so they should be able to clean up these elephants. That's a pretty huge amount of chunky boys here, though, so they're cleaning up this wave of Condotieros, but only Heidi just keeps feeling more, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. And Blolin Rival is still making fishing ships. 50 fishing ships now. Genoese cleaning up the elephants now. I think most of these are going to go down to Castle Fire. Could send the Genoese over as well, but we're moving more in towards Tusky on the left-hand side here. Genoese a bit exposed here, but the elephants can't do anything about that, obviously. Karambit's now added. And, wait, no, sorry, Urubi Swordsman. Which is, I forgot about that unit, but they should be doing well against the condos as well. A good call, but now with the massive Genoese out on the field, even the infantry addition of the Dravidians has not going to do much. 2 castles for Pitadella, so that's going to be the attempt to deal with the Condotieros, is to add samurais. I believe the samurais are possibly a bit slower than the condos, but they have lots of bonus damage against unique unit, 10 bonus damage, and I guess the Condotiero kind of, it should count like a unique unit, right? And in any real case, the Samurai is a strong infantry unit. So, it could still trade, and it attacks faster being Japanese, so it should trade well against the condos. Is it imp into GG for Tusky with the Dravidians here? Looks like Flemish military are losing most of the land presence. Bloody Nibel is actually landing the home island of Marklanders, which is funny. Doesn't really matter that much with 3,000 hunters on the mainland, but Marklanders is reacting anyway with the defensive castle. Don't really see this sneak landing doing too much, but it's a clever play to take out some economy and idle lots of economy on the mainland. Flemish militia sure aren't going to go down lightly. Well, Middle Island completely in control for GDR, boys. This castle is going up, but it's not going to stay up long with 6 trebuchets firing at it. The harbor probably just does 1 damage per arrow or something like that. So it's going to take it forever to take out just 1 trebuchet here. That's another Malay castle down. Yes, we still have the Japanese castles to the top side, which GDR actually don't know about. But naval control now back into GDR's hands as well. Don't think the Malay landing is too worrying for Marklanders over here. Oh, and all of the battle elephants queued in 1 stable. No! No! This is what we had to do back in the day, except you couldn't even multi-queue, so you had to queue 1 unit at a time. Single queue. Or queue from 1 building at a time. Yeah, Italian's best save confirmed, of course. Samurai versus Condotieros, but what are the upgrades like? Almost full upgrades for the Samurai. They are missing the last attack upgrades. Thanks for the follow, Mark KVBB58. Look at the Samurai here. Look at the trading. Look at that. Oh, I need to see that again. Come on. Look at the numbers here. That's half the numbers. And still they come out on top, the Samurai. I mean, they have 10 bonus damage against unique unit, and they have faster attacking unit, but that's still sick. They don't even have the last attack upgrade. Woo. Good call. Peter Della would have needed those a lot earlier. But easy to say in the heat of the moment. It takes a while to takes some good game sense to be reacting immediately to the Connotiero play with Samurai and Castles. So, but obviously it's working. Elite Skirmishers now added as counter to the Genoese crossbowmen as well. But now Peter Della is essentially the only player of GDR on land. And I think with this mass of Genoese working together with the Condotieros, then the Samurai will struggle a lot more. And yes, they're going straight for the castles here. There are 3 castles of the Japanese. There's probably been some sling at this point as well, has it? Actually, there hasn't. Maybe they should consider... where is that? There we go. So maybe they should consider slinging Peter Della some food or gold here to make sure he can keep producing the Samurai at a fast rate from the castles. So against the elite skirmishers, and for that matter the Samurai, you could also make an argument for the Malians switching into Farimba Cavalier Light Cav, right? And then suddenly Peter Della won't have much he can do against that. Yeah, don't fight Samurai with Condottiero, guys. But it buys GDR time to focus down the castle. Look at all the trebuchets over here. Might even consider adding cannon galleons from the Byzantines over here, because now they kind of have some naval control back. It's going to be costly to keep preparing here. Look at the stone running low, buying stone to keep up by the looks of it. 7 villagers mining stone. That castle is going to go down there, even fighting uphill. How are you keeping this one up? There we go. Down it goes. Only one castle left for Peter Della. Is that the game-ending move? Left-hand side, the Cavaliers are in for Byzantines. Fair enough. As Tusky has tried for a different approach here, now going into champions, as the Dravidians wants to desperately get a counter going for the Condottiero. It's a good switch after knowing that Peter Della will be losing the last castle here, most likely. But now look at the middle presence, the map control. This is fascinating though. The elephants just completely cleaning up Mark Landers' economy, and he's not really replenishing a lot of villagers in the middle. I'm not sure if it matters so much losing the main island, except for the fact that you need to kickstart your economy again, because there's just no resources left to be taken there except for a little bit of stone. Genoese crossbowman doing some work here. What's the champion's situation? Or two-handed swordsman, I should say. If anything, it's not long until gold becomes a huge issue for Flemish militia here, because they have to be running out of gold on their home islands. Probably a while ago. They're losing the middle control. There's very few places they can collect that precious gold now, which means that the champion switch won't really be happening just yet either. So good raids here from Bloody Nivel again with the Malay Light Cab, but this time around it's working decently because there aren't any Genoese crossbowmen here to clean the map efficiently. Still resources in the bank. But with the increasing mass of... Byzantine's Paladin, what do you know? And Farimba for the Malin's Cavalry as well. I guess RIP Peter Della's armies over here. Or castles coming up for the Malins as well, which means you could also add in Geppetto against these infantry armies over here. The Genoese count not huge. Add in Condotieros, which is fine as well for Marklanders, I guess, but it's lacking all of the upgrades. I think I'd rather see Geppettos from the castles from the Malins here to clean this up. Geppettos. All in all, the overall population here is so close between the two teams. It's 50 population difference, but Flemish militia, unfortunately, they're down to half of the military of what GDR boys are fielding. We have paladins here. Admittedly, there are Byzantine paladins, but there are Dravidians halberdiers here to counter that. Elite cannon galleons doing some work here for Bloody Naval as well, so taking out whatever they can from the naval side, but at the same time there's some naval raids happening topside, and when or if they reach the Malay fish boom, then there's going to be some issues for Bloody Naval to keep up here as well. Looks like Flemish militia, they're just struggling to get enough army numbers on the middle island to fight back here, as the Paladins reached almost 40 in numbers here. Still Malian Condotieros out, and the elite Genoese crossbowman count is back with decent numbers as well. Cannon galleons are doing decent work, but this is the last point on the mainland. Yeah, there's the stables as well. They're only producing light cav. This is much less of a threat than these barracks producing halberdiers to deal with the paladin investment here. I'm wondering if both teams are looking at the score and thinking like, yeah, sure, we got this. We're so close in score. This is fine. But if you look at the overall army count, here is 3 times the size for GDR boys at this point. And they essentially own the full middle island at this point. So if they can just fight off the presence of Flemish militia from the middle and now taking out the fish of the Malay as well, is this fish boom death into GG perhaps? How quickly those guys are now. That's gotta be the end of the food income of the Malay, and there is the GG. First game goes into GDR boys' hands. What a game to kick it off though. Some back and forths on migration here, but GDR taking it in the end. Wait. Oliger! Didn't even see that being teched, but then I guess that makes sense against the Genoese. So pretty convincing KDs here for purple or red. It's not a huge surprise that that Malay economy was the highest score because of that massive, almost free fish boom. 3 times the army, and its elite Genoese paladins and Malian condos against Malay light cav some water. Yeah, exactly. Not exactly the best unit to put up against that mass. But score is deceiving though. And that's mainly the fish boom of the Malay, I think. Making a huge difference there. Right, let's cross off the civilizations and move on to the next one. Italians, Byzantines, Malians taking out Dravidians. Japanese and Malay here. Don't know how we're supposed to show that one, but yeah. Yes, like that. Right. Should be Amazon Tunnel or Maghreb next. Was a really good strategy. At that point, when the Condottiere was hit, there was nothing against that for Flemish militia, and they were missing the Japanese player in the middle to make the samurai. I guess if the Dravidians player had made the Urumi swordsman earlier, that could have also made a difference. But you need to come up with the idea in time. I guess we already revealed the Sims here. There's Amazon Tunnel, so we don't have much to talk about for the first 20 minutes anyway. Right, here we go. Amazon Tunnel played on Explored as according to the rules of the tournament. It's more of a community rule than an official rule. In Ranked, I think it is unexplored. But it hasn't. I've never played this map. I played it once in Ranked, and that was right after it was released, and I hate it. But that's not going to put it past me that a lot of players enjoy it. So here it is in the 3v3 league map pool. Second game, home map of Flemish militia. Let's have a look at their civilizations. Blood denial with the Tatars. I don't really see why they would pick Tatars here, but it could be because of the 3 extra range trebs. If you get the unique technology and the siege engineers, you'll have 16 plus 3 range trebuchets. Could be useful on this map. And yeah, maybe they changed it in Ranked to be unexplored. In the beginning, it definitely was unexplored. Yeah, so trebuchets for the Tatars. I guess Keshiks, strong unit as well. Not too famous for the siege Tatars, but they have some options. They do get bomber towers as well, to my recollection. Teutons, fantastic melee units. Get the paladins. Not having husbandry matters less on a map like this. But they also have ironclad siege with extra armor. They have crenellations castles with extra range for the castles. It's just a must-have on this map if you're able to. With the Teutons. You have Tusky with the Mongols. For the upgraded Magudai, it's juicy, of course. And Imperial Age siege weapons like the drill unique technology boosting the speed of the siege, so you could have drill siege onagers or siege rams with the Mongols moving speedily across the map. The fact there's only one gap compared to Black Forest means that exploration is less impactful. Yeah. There's still the importance of walling off the show point though, because if you know that this is where the relic and gold and everything is, you try to fight to wall as close to here as possible, or if you're the other team, here. Alright, I look at GDR's civilizations here. Quadrupolymos with the Bengalis. Elephant civilization, battle elephants. Also monks with extra armor, is it? What is it for Bengalis? There's some kind of monk thingy. I might be mixing them up with the Slavs, but anyway. They are seen playing monks frequently. They're classified as a monk and elephant civ. Bloody accidentally picked random, and the enemies picked Tatar for. Ah! Yeah. Stuff happens. That makes more sense. This isn't exactly a Tatar's Cavalry Archers map. The extra range trebuchets could still be useful though in trap wars and whatnot. So that's the Bengalis for Quadrupolymos. Armored elephants might see some play as well. Persians for non-Heidi. Persians because you want a proper booming into Paladin civilization. Persians also have bombard cannons at least. Don't remember if they have bombard towers. But they've got plenty of options. I swear I'm not around to hurt these idiots when this stuff happens. Yeah, that kind of hurts your home map, doesn't it? And finally, in the purple, we have Mark Landers as the Koreans. Okay, we're going safe with the walls here for Black Sky and Flemish Militia. They're not taking any chances. They don't want to try and wall off all of the relics early on. They want to play it safe at home base and not let any early aggression in. So range trebs to single cut through from far away, but of course. Right, starting scouts of GDR, only a couple of them. There are villagers here to help fight. They have loom as well. Should be okay. Nice quick walls from Black Sky there. And yeah, there's no way these walls don't go up. And look at the hit points difference here as well. First hit taken by yellow. Of course, if your micromanagement is on point, you'd still be able to potentially win the scouts war, especially with feudal age in now for the Persians already. That's an early feudal age for the Persians. But GDR, knowing that the walls will be going up here, they won't really have much success with the early feudal age. Or maybe they will, because we have a stable going up here for non-Heidi. We are going to see at least a couple of scouts. And the fact that the Flemish military are walling this far back, that might actually come back and bite them in the ass here, because they'll be forced to... I mean, it's they... Let's assume GDR break through here. Then Flemish don't have much space to go on to make another layer of walls behind before the opponents enter their side. Good laters kicking in for most players now. Looks like Flemish in general are going to go for fast cast stage approaches here. Have a look at that. Resource count there for Tusky. Tusky gonna go for Blacksmith Market. No. No. There we go. While Feudalation just click for the Teutons. Seeded a few farms here, and that's going to be a later cast age. Maybe even fast Imperial Age approach. Yeah, there's no particular fighting over choke points here. It's just walling close to home base to keep the aggression away. Still making scouts for non-Heidi just in case they should be able to get through. But you need something in front here. You need a forward tower or forward archers to deny the walling behind here. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. Are they gonna get through here? It's just... Oh! Look at that! 5 scouts pounding away, but now the houses are feudal age houses. Might be tougher to break through. I think they get a little bit more HP and armor. And the stone walls behind here. It's fine. Now we can just let the scouts through, because we're not gonna get any further anyway. Imagine the satisfaction breaking through this house finally, and what you're gonna get from it is just taking out a couple of scouts and maybe 1 or 2 villagers. That is if they get through at all, but I mean there's stone walls right behind there. Of course there should be stone walls behind here. Tatars going for the archers, which is puzzling to me. Who am I to argue? The true. Oh yes, we got through finally! Woo! Nope. Didn't even get the villagers. Three town centers for the Koreans. Marklanders setting up for a nice Castle Age boom into Imperial Age Koreans Death Ball. Koreans on this map would probably be providing the siege onagers, maybe some halberdiers to add to that. But obviously towers as well, an option. Budget castles for the Koreans, they don't need to research any upgrades to get keeps and the likes. There's that. A gate, control over stone, a relic and gold. Yeah, and somehow they also have the eco advantage, so there's that. Looks like Guarapodamos is going to be clicking up as well. Remains to be seen if they actually collect the relics though. Here comes the market. It's funny how they start placing their first market up on the corners of this map, because you know you'll be trading at some point anyway. Might as well place your market blacksmith, or your market in that case. Whoa, quick wall hero over here from one of the Heidis, saving the forward villager. Control in quotation marks, indeed. Castle Age for the Teutons, that's going to be an instant boom for Black Sky as well. Blood enabled with the Tatars, probably not too sure what to do with the Tatars here, but making some archers at least. I guess with the Bengalis on the team, you could play this Michi style as well and just place shit tons of town centers as the Bengalis. Enter the Imperial Age, get your 2 extra villagers, and then just sling your other 2 teammates into victory. But that's a big ask. Can't really say I see that happening. Finally, we have the Castle Age for the red player, so a couple of extra town centers popping up here. Siege workshop near home base for whatever reason. Not being too aggressive about it here. I think I'm just going to speed it up at least a little bit here, because I don't really see too much happening until the Imperial Age, as this map often tends to play out in the Imperial Age here. And now Flemish Militia arguably have more control, they have more army out on the field, or they have 16 versus 0 military here. So now's the time to collect these relics. And just to grab all the resources you can, get the castle up in the middle, something to manifest your position, or at least collect the relics, because that's lots of free gold right there. With the 7 relics on the map. Stage for the Tatars as well. Eco upgrades coming in rather than Crossbow Bodkin. Are we gonna see cavalry archers then, or just a boom into Imperial Age and bombard towers? Who knows? Now, moving forward to wall of GDR side. But look at that. Defensive mangonel. That could cause issues unless you get that cast lap in a spot where it can actually reach the mangonel. Monk is here to collect the relics. Surprisingly enough, not trying to deny the walling behind here. Fortified walls coming up for GDR as well. They have a very convincing equal lead at this point. They have Imperial Age on the way for the Koreans, which means that Marklanders could add the Siege Onagers. Looks like that's the play here. Siege Workshops going up. Castles coming up as well. Heck, if the economy is strong enough, you could even make War Wagons and Siege Onagers. Now, some forward barracks for troops. Is it going to be a Helm Siege push here, or is it going to be a other kind of infantry approach here? It could also be the militia line. Still, no upgrade for the Tatars here. What's Feudal Age archers gonna do here? Come on. Seriously? Yeah, at least we got the relic. That was their only job here, these archers, to defend that monk from for long enough to get that relic on the enemy side. Oh. Imperial Age is on the way for all of the players basically now. GDR still got an advantage. It's about 60 more villagers. War elephants for the Persians! Yes. Yeah, the economy to support that. I mean, 56 on food and 22 on gold, that's basically enough to sustain one castle production of war elephants. I don't know about this. Archers have foundry. Indeed they do. Siege workshops from the Mongols. Are we gonna see drill here as well? No castle for the Mongols as of yet. Some personal agenda against this blacksmith over here, but down it goes, which means that the war elephants, soon to be elite, are not going to benefit from the last Imperial Age attack upgrade. Probably not a big loss at this point. Several castles here. Once again, the eco overview. Okay, getting there, 63 on food, 30 on gold. I think you need 40 on gold for 2 castles war elephants production. They are beefy. They're the most expensive and strongest unit in the game. They still lack bloodlines, but other than that, they're... do they even need it, to be honest? 600 HP, 20 plus 2 attack. To be fair, with Teuton's halberdiers, if you mass enough of them, the war elephants aren't nearly as much of a threat, but there aren't any monasteries here to produce monks to deal with that war elephant play. So if this catches Flemish Militia off guard, like the Condotieros the previous game, then the Flemish Militia might be in deep shit here. Drill coming in for the Mongols. Would make it even faster to cut through the woodlines here. And trying for a sneak raid. And the outpost. Their GDR boys are ahead of things here. They got some decent vision from these outposts. And are going to see the cut through coming here. Here we go, they see it. Which means they could stonewall behind here. And the Oligers won't be able to catch them by surprise. Oh. Drill Siege Oligers versus Elite War Elephants here. What are we going to say about that? Oh, 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 oh! Down they go. Even Siege Oligers don't stop these beasts. Jesus! Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I'll hand it to GDR boys. That's some serious style points right there. Research your range upgrades for the castles, people. Now the Korean siege Oligers actually outrange the Mongols' castle because the Mongols' castle only has thatching. If this castle had the unique technology from the Mongols, the castle would reach the siege Oligers and it wouldn't be going down this easily. So that's unfortunate for Flemish militia. Monster is going up, so good reaction to the War Elephant play here. Persians don't get heresy, which means that any converted unit will join the enemy forces. Will they be able to get enough monks out in time, though? Passing a lot of them here for Black Sky. Black Sky. Certainly familiar with monks, because I think he's quite familiar with arena map and strategies. Black Sky, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've seen him around in cloud events. So, some War Elephants, or Elite War Elephants rather, for Black Sky. Speaking of elephants, Elite Elephant Archers for the Bengalis as well. It's just full-on elephants play here. Siege Oligers, of course, the way to deal with Elite Elephant Archers, but they're still tanky as heck. Spice the military for GDR, and look at the army value difference here. That's the elephant investment. That's really, really paying off here. And even with a good boom behind this, I don't really see Flemish militia being... How are they going to stop this at this point? Mass halberdiers, sure, but there are siege Oligers from the Koreans as well, with the 8+2 range. Monks, obviously a good addition. But if none of the Heidi reacts in time and deletes the elephants before they can get converted, then they're also not going to be of much concern. How Bloody Rival has got so many eco kills. That's puzzling to me. So either he got some raids in at some point that I didn't notice, or there's some bug in the capture system. They definitely lost villagers. Clearly I need to pay better attention. Siege Oligers taking out their own forces, that's not very nice. Does not allow the drill siege ram to get any hits in here. And it's going to be a long choke pointy fight from here on onwards. I feel like the Koreans has the advantage here with the extra range for the siege on Europe, but speed matters as well in siege on Europe micro. Keshik's doing some serious work over here, but still doesn't feel like Flemish militia has the numbers needed to deal with this, and they are still massively outmatched in army value numbers here as well. Oh, it's true, yeah, the new Persian castles. Persian bullet castles. That's gonna be good against the halberdiers though. Is it? Isn't it? Yeah. Bullets actually dealing bonus damage against infantry, for example. Look at this speedy siege on yours. It's like 33% faster than generic siege on yours. Oh, big hit. Still not enough to take out these elite elephant archers. Mainly trade numbers now for the Bengalis. Not really feeling that much army here. Trade is about to extend for the GDR boys though. So there's that. And villagers helping out, chopping the wood. Thanks, guys. I got this, says Mark Anders. Yeah. Back to the battlefield. Pushing slowly into the choke point here. Let's have a look at the relics situation as well, if you can find it. Only 2 relics collected for GDR. It's going to be 5 for Tusky with the Mongols, so obvious relics value there. Some Persian stables coming up now. It looks like we might see a Paladin, or should I say Savar switch here for the Persians. Slowly pushing further into the choke point here. What's the Teuton situation now? Still only flashing for the castles. Probably not any unique technology either, because there is no castle to research it anymore. And now they're trying to break through yet again. Do we see it from this side for Nono di Heidi? This could mess things up. Oh, he's heard! They've heard! They didn't see it, but they've heard the... Or maybe they've seen it from this side. Or maybe they just heard the stones, projectiles, on your catapult projectiles getting closer and closer from this side. Great reaction there with the castles, but still, Renelation castles would be very helpful in the middle here for the Flemish militia. Maybe we'll see it researched once this completes. It's still... Now it's 8+2, so Bodkin arrow is in at least. That helps, obviously. Still trying to find a way in here to raid. Keshiks want to get into the economy here, but there are castles strategically placed here. They should be ranging any units trying to enter. A good defense from GDR boys. They've now extended their trade route to yield nearly, slightly over 100 gold per trip. Great gold income, fighting at nearly population space here, now 3 times the military of their opponents. Keshiks entering, but being quick walled out. The quick walls though, and the human blockage and the cannonball protect us from the Persians' castles as well. Yeah, that's not gonna work well for Flemish militia. Unfortunately, they don't get through this time around either. Now freeing up time and space for GDR to keep pushing the middle. Flemish turning this into a wood game. I don't know about that. How much wood is there on this map total? There's only like 2.12 million wood left. That's not too bad. Another castle coming up here. Denying another piece of entry. And desperate for more gold by the looks of it. No. They're not struggling for gold yet. They're just being lazy, don't want to get all the way to the edge, I guess. Still the Keshiks for the Tatars. 4 castles producing the Keshiks now. That does yield some gold through units killed as well. I don't think it's of significance, but it's something. I was expecting to see the Sabar from the stables, but maybe it's just for the bloodlines and husbandry and whatnot. Still competing to the war elephants now. 4 castles, 6 castles total, pumping them out. Bomber cannons. Also being added by the Koreans now. This one. But being intercepted by the Keshiks here, so that's not going to be an issue just yet. Look at the slow creep of JDR boys though. They are keeping that RB size advantage. They're essentially never going to struggle for gold. 71 on gold, 57 on food. That's nearly enough to keep up with the 6 castle producing the war elephants, but we need some ridiculous amount of food gold. I think it's 40 on food and 20 on gold for just 1 castle production of war elephants. It's pretty crazy. The war elephants now 40 and counting. Still got the monasteries here, and as you know, the Persians do not have heresy, so any converted unit joins the opposing army. So if you have your monk micro on point, you could be getting a lot of free units over here. Trying for the conversions, it's almost must be hard to select single units to convert in the middle here. In this massive choke point, Flemish, yes, they are fielding armies, but their gold count is diminishing. Their trade route is less efficient. They have fewer trade units overall. Have a look. I guess Tusky is the most efficient trader. No, look at the big on this trade boom. What the heck? 93 trade cards. Do you even have villagers, bro? That doesn't leave much space for military when you have 167 eco units, but at least you're setting up the gold income for later, I guess. Are we still making trade cards? No. Almost 100 no, 97 trade cards, 73 villagers. Which probably means that Bengali's unique technology for... yeah, never mind. But the technology that frees up some villager population space has been researched. Technically, trade cards are counting as eco units, so they might count as villagers as well, looking at the overall numbers here. Seeing some potential for cut-throughs on the side here for GDR boys. They are giving away quite a few war elephants now, but also not enough to lose their advantage here. Will we see more siege weapons? I think we need more bomber cannons and trebuchets here to really punch through Flemish militia's side. As long as there's a huge choke point here protected by castles, the siege on gears. Oh, flaming camels! Oh, that was underwhelming. Damn it! I want to see some big flaming camel hits. I love how they immediately stop burning when they stop like that. That's a nice touch. Send forth the flaming camels! Kaboom! Actually got 130 bonus damage against war elephants, just say. It's a good call to make them. Bam. Nice! At least the Tatars, the forced pick from the opponents, is being put to good use here. Is this Flemish militia pushing back? They still don't have the best trade ever, only one market trade, but they're freeing up the corner to get there. The Tatars on the girl of all things. Maybe some communication issues there. Same military count now. Comparable eco count. Seriously though, delete some villagers, delete some trade cards, do something. Red. You don't need 100 on gold at this point. You need military. You need population space. Neither team are going to struggle for economy for a while yet. I would still say that GDR kind of have an advantage though, but they need to eliminate that flaming camel threat for the elephants to be truly efficient here. Oh, but they're through on the side. Elephant! Elite war elephants in the economy. Now what do you do? How are you going to clean up these slow, beefy, tanky trading units raiding your trade over here? Here come the on the flaming camels again. First time I ever see them in a competitive game, I think. Nice. Nice. If they didn't bug out, that would be really nice. See that they don't want to blow themselves up, they just want to be part of the trade route. That's a distraction that Flemish militia don't really want to be dealing with at this point though. Looks like they're able to wall it away and focus on the choke point fight again, but in the meantime, finally we've deleted some villagers from Quadra-Polemos. We have the siege elephant in front as well. They will eat the castles in no time here if they get close enough. Siege onagers trying to deal with them from behind, but these castles are weak as heck at this point, and the just overall flood of units here dealing with the army mass moving forward. It's two Tatars castles down, the choke point suffering even more now for Flemish militia. Just as long as GDR boys are able to get their units out now. Delete some trade cards, come on, free up some population space, please. Almost 100 trade cards at this point. Unless you're going to go full gold thing, you need army numbers here. No matter how tanky these elephants are. Imagine if you had 100 elephant archers instead. Oh. Armored elephants in front. Can they reach the siege onagers? No, I don't think so. So Drill Siege Runners doing some work against the Masked Elephant Archers approach here. Koreans with the Halberdiers as well. Lacking the last attack upgrade, so they're going to struggle against the Teuton's Halberdiers in that regard. But let's have a look at the resource stats again. See, the gold situation is looking a lot healthier. I wonder why. For GDR boys. It's a lot of gold in the bank. With all these trade business going on. Ooh. Ooh. This guy could take out the markets. He's ready to attack the trade route from the back. Still, population capped for the red player here is making mainly siege elephants now. And elite elephant archers on top of that. Another raid coming through on the woodland here now. I don't think they will be able to hold it out in time. Isn't that open? That's open. Holy pathfinding. No, it's not actually. It's funny. Redemption for Teutons and block printing, and suddenly you could convert that siege Oliver. I think we've found a way through. So another wave of elite war elephants now to raid the trade line, at least if they can. Oh, careful with the attack ground here. Oof. And you could open this side as well. Siege Oliver. Monk goes down. Monk too busy dealing with the or trying to convert elite war elephants here. So another wave of elite war elephants aiding elite war elephants, trying to get to the core economy of Flemish militia here. They're going to take some equal losses now, and they're losing position in the middle because there aren't any castles here anymore. Both sides taking the long route to trade, but this GDR with the advantage here now, I would say. Once again hitting the economy. There's not really any stone left for more defensive fortification. Lord Enable could drop a few. And it's not like they've run out of resources yet. They still have potential to fight back. But they just don't have the space to add a forward castle in the trade. If this one goes up, that changes things. That's going to significantly impact the resource income of Flemish militia. More production buildings going up closer to home as well. Trebuchets just randomly popping up here. The elephants will find an opening in the walls though still, and trade units rapidly going down for Flemish militia. Counter castle coming up here. Suppose the elite step lancers will make quick work of that one. The counter casting is stopped as well. I don't understand how anyone would put themselves through the misery of playing a battle like this. But some people just enjoy the long Imperial Stockfest. Relics down as well. That is 5 relics finally up for grabs for GDR boys. Oh, don't tell me this forward castle is going to complete. 84%. Stays unbuilt for now, but look at the trade numbers. They are going down for Flemish militia. Base seriously breached here. Now 100 villagers behind, half the military. Let's go back to the resource stats for a bit. Still resources in the bank, still RB production, but only for the Teutons at this point. Replenishing some trade, I don't think it's the time for that now. You need to try and get more military out on the field. Only 3 trading units left for Bloody Nibel. It's going to run out of gold unless they can secure the trade again, get back to the production. I'll get some conversions here. That's certainly value. Heavy camels added by Bloody Nibel now. Camels have bonus damage against elephants as well, so not the worst switch ever. And more villagers now in the trade line. That's going to hurt for the trade when this castle completes. And it's also going to allow for more elephants production forward from this castle. There it is. It's the forward castle into GG, it seems. GDR taking the second game here. 363 elite war elephants. But also 245 siege onlookers for the Mongols. That's some sick numbers right there. So I'll show the economy population quickly here, because that should be counting the of fiddling with the advanced stats. Let's have a look at the military situation here. The KD 1524 units lost for the Teutons. That's mainly halberdiers, you know, and absolutely ridiculous KD for the Persians. 1100 to 300. Not often you see these numbers. Economy situation, gold income, surprise, surprise, 83,000 gold collected for the Bengalis. Just viable. It seems to have worked. I don't have any huge issues with that, but that seems like a massive overboom trade-wise. Did they actually sling? Could be that there was some sling sent to the Koreans at some point. Good Age did nothing for GDR other than maybe claim the middle a bit. 98 trade cards. Ridiculous. 11 castles for the Persians to produce these mighty war elephants. Okay, let's Amazon Tunnel. First home map down for Peter Della's team. That would be Koreans, Persians, and Bengalis. Winning against the Mongols. Tatars, forced pick because they accidentally clicked random. And Teutons. Maghreb is coming up next. It has hybrid qualities because there's some water up top, but mainly a land nomad map. I can see Frank's coming into play here for the scouts and paladins. Mayans for the blue archers and the cheaper archers overall. Maybe even Hindustanis as well. But then again, we have Chinese. Once you get the Townsend Trap, you get your 3 extra villagers. And let's see for the other side. Lithuanians strikes me as a good one here. Magyars for their cheaper scouts in the feudal age with instant forging. Berbers, good contender. Huns. Generally speaking, lots of options here for Peter Della's team. Could be the Vietnamese as well for the Rat Notches and for the fact that they will get to know exactly the location of the opponent's town centers once they complete. Let's just hop into game number 3 here. Which, for whatever reason, is rune stocks. remember my own rules, but I guess any map is pickable then. We're to this, so there's Flemish are saving one home map for later. So Runestone's essentially an Arabia clone open land map, more easily walled than your go-to Arabia script in many ways. The woodlands are just more consistent. There's always going to be one relic in the middle, which could be good for the relic-centric civilizations like Burgundians, Aztecs, Lithuanians. Let's have a look at these civilizations picked here. Huns for Bloody Nivels. 25% cheaper. Cavalry archers 20% faster working stables. That is the team bonus. So that's going to benefit any cavalry production. Right hand side we have the last bender with the Vietnamese on the flank. Going to play the archers here. Vietnamese archers have, or archer range units I should say, have 20% extra hit points. They also give their team access to Imperial skirmishers as a bonus. And the last bender, he wants to go on a laming spree here, is scouting the opponent's side, just slightly. Didn't actually notice the eagle there, but didn't get too close. I think he was hoping to find a boar or something to lame over here. Maybe he's going to send a villager out nice and early to lame and wall in some resources as well. Sometimes Vietnamese can do that. But red is on point, guarding the forward boar here. Not going to allow the last bender to get away with that. Peter Dela with the Saracens. Another good archers civilization on flank, fully upgraded arbalest for the Saracens. Market allowing them to buy and sell resources at a better rate than any other civilization. And the market only costs 75 wood. So it makes the blacksmith market fast castle age or castle age upgrade a little bit more fluent as well. A little bit cheaper, I should say. 100 wood saved for other stuff. So you could sell 100 wood for gold if you haven't mined enough. Also, team bonus. Archers have bonus attack against buildings. Well, let's have a look at GDR boys' side here. They've been busy scouting their bases and pushing deer, so they don't know anything about the location of their opponents just yet. It's going to be Ethiopians for Marklanders. Faster firing archers for the Ethiopians. 100 food, 100 gold. Instantly into the bank once you reach the next stage. Makes it easier to afford fletching, men-at-arms, these kinds of things. Bodkin arrow in the castle age. Crossbow. In the pocket for GDR we have none of the Heidi with the Slavs. Slavs. Fantastic economy with the faster farmers. And also another useful team bonus, military buildings providing 5 population space. So if you go for an infantry rush from the side, for example, a drush or men-at-arms opening, you essentially save that 25 wood for one house that can be put into something else. Slavs don't get paladin, but they do get bowyar from the castles, and with their unique technology, letinets, they get some of the stone cost for castles transferred into a wood cost as well, which makes it easier to mass bowyars as your alternate options to other teams making paladins. And finally, red Quadropolemos is playing as the Mayans, one of the absolute go-to picks for open land maps. 10, 20 and 30% cheaper archers, crossbows, arbalest for the Mayans. Resources last longer. 15% longer is it. So any food, gold, stone, wood. For example, the tree would give 115 wood instead of 100. And the boars would also give a little bit more food. Which makes their economy stronger. Their walls are cheaper as well, so they're sort of designed to play defensively and then come back with a strong def wall in the castle and Imperial Ages. Shot it. Looks like they're going to work together forward here with the Scout and Eagle Scout to deny some walling in the front. They'll see that Bloody Knight, no, sorry, Last Bender isn't on the berries yet, which suggests that we're going to see a super fast uptime here with a straight archery range. The 18 or 19 pop is quite common in team games nowadays. You would even skip the mill in most cases, because if you push the deer, you don't really need that mill for the berries food to click up. You could place the mill in the early food age instead and still get your food income as needed. Staff's Pocket up ahead of Bloody Knight from the Huns here, but the Huns stable produces more quickly, so they might still be okay here. 3 villagers building that one, that's a good one as well for Bloody Knight to keep up. Might just be enough to match the Slav Scouts production, even with one higher villager population going up for Bloody Knight. Scouts staying together for GDR boys. Double ranges for the Mayans, no surprise there. Only a single range for no double range for the Last Bender. They're just not right next to each other. Meanwhile, Marklanders walling off home base got almost all of the left side secure. That's a weak villager walling that one, so if there's any, if the Scout or Peter Della sees this, he will be able to pick off that villager actually. Side secured as well. Looks like we're seeing the beginnings of a team wall effort here for the wall in between these wood lines. And then long term in between here as well. And here. And then suddenly we have all of the full base of GDR boys secured from any army entry that have to break through the walls together. It's a massive effort, though it might be a bit too early for a full team wall at this stage. But you can clearly see what they're thinking about here. They want to get a full wall going out like that, so they have all of their bases safe to already be prepared for the very late game trade of the corners. They're kind of already securing the corners by walling off like that this early in the game. So 1 versus 2 situation here, not ideal for Marklanders, even with the faster firing archers. It's going to be outnumbered here. Scouts count both pockets with the same amount of scouts, but the yellow scouts are working together with the mines top side instead. And that should be beneficial to GDR boys because of the faster firing rate of the Ethiopians. So it's easier to take a 1 versus 2 fight here with the... As long as he has the larger archer mass, that is, and Marklanders does have twice the amount of archers compared to Peter Della here. Looking for a point of entry. A clever walling by the Last Bender, walling in towards the town center so that the armies would need to move through town center fire to get damage in. It might still be worthwhile to move underneath the TC with the scouts and maybe even the archers to get value from the armies and take out opponent's economy, but not at this point though, because the Last Bender has about the same military size as the Mayans player, so you don't want to risk losing your armies in unfavorable numbers. Bloody Heidi going with the scouts to punish Bloody Knight at the Huns pocket position here. Almost gets a villager. Bloody Knight lost 2 villagers already, so Bloody Heidi taken out 1, but apparently lost 1 villager to war early on as well. The scouts fighting all alone in the middle here, but red Has some archers over here as well. That's a bit of a communication failure that they're not working together here, because that could be the end of almost all of Blood and Rival scouts if they had the 2 vs 1 situation here. But now they're grouping up together again, I think. Good defense from Flemish militia so far. Only lost 1 villager to the opponent's aggression, but here we go with Marklanders finding some potential damage in the Hun's base here. I don't know why Red is pulling so far away here now. Looks like it's going to idle and prepare for the Castle Age here already, but imagine if they had grouped all 3 armies together here with the yellow scouts, red archers, and the purple archers. Then they'd be looking at some massive damage potential on Flemish Militia's side, because they'll have 3 armies versus 2 essentially, and they could be doing lots of eco and military damage. Speaking of military though, they have got almost twice the military here, GDR boys. We have Castle Age on the way for the mines, that's why it's pulling the archers away. This is flaring, the corner's probably just going to hide away over here for whatever reason. And then come back stronger with a Castle Age that Flemish Militia will have no way to match. The player closest to clicking Castle Age is Peter Della with the Saracens, but he's also facing aggression at home base from Marklanders' armies over here. So good flank play from Marklanders, splitting up the armies, dealing damage to, or obstructing, should I say, both the pocket and flank players. This could be a quick game if this progresses, because it's already snowballing out of control and into GDR boys' hands. Archers throwing in. Castle in for the Mayans, and one player just barely clicked the Castle for Flemish Militia. That's a huge power spike. And look at the scouts of Nonno Heidi as well, dominating Blood and Rival's economy here. Nival losing more villagers, doesn't have the food yet to click up, and losing more food economy through the raids of the scouts over here. They are about to get Bloodlines, even 30 seconds to go, so if they can outrun the Huns scouts here, then they'll be looking at much better upgrades than the Huns, because the Huns, yes, they have Bloodlines, but they have missing the attack upgrade, and they are in equal mass. Once Bloodlines is in for Nonno Heidi, it's going to be an amazing advantage. Castle Age for Ethiopians as well. Marklanders going to get Bodkin Arrow and Crossbow immediately. It's fighting uphill here, but that's going to be less of an issue once Bodkin and Crossbow are in. That little wave of archer is going to go down before the upgrades though, which is bit of an unfortunate loss for Marklanders, but look at the mass over to 16 crossbows. It's even an opening up top here, but I don't think he realizes that there's a hole. Surely that's a hole, right? I think that's an opening. I think you should be able to enter there. Stage in for blue as well. Peter Della with 21 archers needs to pull them back home to defend here, and needs another 30 seconds to get the crossbow Bodkin upgrade in as well. Crossbows in for the Mayans, cleaning up the feudal age archers of the last bender. 40 crossbows total, more than double, or almost double, the mass archers. The last bender is going to struggle to hold off against this. Castle Age just 50 seconds away for the yellow player as well, and Blood and Rival still didn't click up, which means that the knights count from the pockets. Pocket player of GDR Voids is going to be much higher. Even the Huns production speed can't really give you the advantage here. Nobody 6 yet, but Marklanders does fire faster. Seems to be getting some good value from fighting up on the hill here. Slight numbers advantage now, dropping the university. And hopefully going to be able to afford ballistics relatively soon. Scouts just diving underneath the TC of Blood Deniable and don't even care about the towns of fire. They are expendable at this point. More scouts joining the field. 17 scouts total on the field. Where is that light cav upgrade? There it is. Might even be enough light cav here to clean up all of these crossbows of the Vietnamese. Will need +2 though, but it's on the way. They are getting ambitious now. They actually want to try and wall off the middle of the map from this angle. Seems a bit ambitious, but they are limiting the mobility of the Flemish militia that way. Knights count not nearly as high as I would have thought for the Slavs at this point, but still ahead. Light cap versus Knights. I mean, it's 20 more villager population for the pockets, which means that it's going to be way easier for non-dehydrated to afford army production. 12 on gold. There's only 5 on gold for Bloody Nival, and with the Hunt's production speed, that actually means that it's going to be harder to keep double Sables production with that kind of economic setup, because you don't bring in the resources quickly enough to produce out of 2 stables consistently. You probably need maybe even 7 on gold per stable, or let's say 6.5 villagers on gold per stable for the Hunts because of the fast production speed. Unless you have gold mining, which helps things out. Great fight for Mark Landers here. He's fighting with... Actually, they both have ballistics, but he does fire faster, and since they both just stand still and he patrols in, gets a huge trade there against the Saracens' armies. 4 Rangers now producing for the Saracens, desperately trying to get back to the numbers to match Mark Landers, but Mark Landers is very consistent, triple range production. Speaking of stables, Mono Dehyde once again going to enter Bloody Nibel's base for raids, and Bloody Nibel doesn't really have anything to hold this off. Loses 1 stable for production as well, and will not be able to bring any cavalry to the field to help his teammates here, unfortunately. Pocket just never being left alone here for Flemish militia. 39 villagers, yes, but lost 11 villagers thus far this game. Going to lose more, going to lose almost all of the food income here. Quick balls to gold, which is nice, but here's the crossbow mass as well. They are just determined to completely obliterate the Hunnic base here. They don't want any of that Hunnic cavalry entering the field. Now Saracens... No, Saracens on the other team, but this kind of crossbow mass still takes out arms at a rapid rate. This is the only town center of the Huns for what I can tell, so Bloody Nival just needs to run and escape, tries to get away here, but that 1 TC is going to go down. More villagers going to go down, 34 villagers, yes, but for how long? As the crossbow mass of Red just moves to Peter Della's side instead, and will help Marklanders with the forward aggression here. 5 crossbows, barely any crossbows left for Blue. Blue will not be able to withstand the attack of about 80 crossbows here, and that's a bit of an anticlimactic ending to the best of 5 here. That's a 3-0 for GDR boys. But well fought by Flemish militia, produced some interesting gains. We got to see flaming camels even, which was pretty amazing. And yeah, tough resistance to face GDR boys at home base here for the last one. (11-1 KD for the Mayans here. Pretty decent KD ratio. Barely lost a unit. 91-58 for Marklanders as well. Cleaned up crossbow armies time and time again here. And yeah, massive eco advantage. I don't think they lost a single villager all KE. So dominant home map display of GDR boys here. Save eco advantage as well. Just to conclude it, we'll show runestones for GDR boys there, winning with the Mayans, Ethiopians, and what was it? Slavs combo. Whereas we had Saracens, Huns, and Vietnamese going down for that one. So GG well played. Thanks for playing. Let's conclude the third division in the challenge bracket here as well. 8-3-0 for GDR boys. Season 7 is open for signups. All skill levels welcome. Do feel free to join. Signups are in my Discord. GG well played.